Previously Kelvin has formed a pact with a shadow wolf, naming him Alex. Kelvin's party started heading towards the forest. While Melfina watches from above flying, Kelvin started thinking back on how he was attacked just as yesterday by bandits. The guild leader alerted Kelvin about his S-rank promotion exam, giving him information that the king will be a witness to the exam to see if he passed or not. An arrow shooting in front of Kelvin's carriage ride. Checking it out, there was a group of archer elves. Kelvin quickly showed he was sent for a promotion exam from the king. The elder elf started greeting himself until he noticed Aphil becoming shocked, calling out a random name to her. Heading into their main house, he started to explain who he thought Aphil was. Explaining a dragon was furious, burning the entire village down, wanting who made him mad to reveal themselves. Until a girl stepped forward claiming she will do anything if he didn't harm anyone. The dragon forced her into becoming his wife, handing a trinket to the elder, leaving the town never to come back. Later finding out she had died, shocking everyone. Making them cry for Aphil, explaining she is most likely her daughter. The elder started to explain that he has barriers but monsters still leak through. Kelvin started asking for full access to defend the village. The elder agreed to Kelvin's request, making him excited. An army of monsters started heading through the forest with people controlling them. The commander explained they are invincible with those new collars they place on the monsters. Suddenly they were taken down, falling off the monster. Explaining he was shot by an arrow, the commander thought of nothing because he didn't hear anything. Until someone was shot in front of him, he started finding out he was being attacked by arrows. He told everyone to hide behind the monsters. Kelvin was on a tower of rocks he created. Aphil started using her far sight ability to snipe people, explaining that S-ranked bow shoots silently arrows using mana. While the whole village was encased in walls, the elves couldn't see because of the fog. Gerard was ordered to guard the gate while a soldier ran to his commander, explaining there's girls defeating all the monsters. Explaining they were the girls, the commander quickly used his horn to summon a ranked S monster. Wondering what's happening, they see a gigantic S-ranked monster appearing from the woods. Melfina asked Rian to deal with the monster to prove her training. Rian started heading toward the monster. As it tries to hit her, she dodges and climbs up the monster arm. Slicing the monster, her sword is broken. She was damaged from the powerful wind force. Heading back to Melfina, she asked Clotho to release the ranked S swords for her and her dog. Climbing back on top of the monster's arm, she charges her swords with a lightning skill, firing a lightning bolt on the monster, damaging it badly. The leader of the attack commanded the monster to go into his ultimate form. Shocking Rian, the monster started to burst into flames, revealing its ultimate form. Everyone could see the monster a mile away while Rian dodges his attack, launching on top of the monster's arm and started the lightning attack again, completely destroying the monster from existence. The leader was furious. A little girl defeated the S-ranked monster while Rian was praised by Melfina. Looking ahead at Rian's battle, Kelvin quickly spotted a dangerous attack, blocking it, fully surprising the enemy that he has blocked it. Kelvin is excited for a fight because he is powerful. The enemy spotted Aphil, wanting her to become his servant. He started to cast a spell with his eye. Kelvin quickly fired an attack at him, explaining to don't use the charm eye ability on his girl. Checking the enemy's stats, Kelvin asked him if he was reincarnated. The enemy started to say his hidden skill is ranked A, noticing Kelvin might be a reincarnated person as well. Kelvin told Aphil to leave the area while she climbed down and went invisible. Kelvin used a powerful wind attack while he started dismantling his tower he created using the mana to have flight. Creating obsidian spears, he launched a spear at the enemy as he used a barrier to repel it. Kelvin recalled his spear to launch all 4 spears. The spears couldn't pierce through the barrier, knocking away. His companions attacked Kelvin. He realized they were charmed by charm eye ability, asking why he would do that to his team. The enemy was shot through his barrier with pierce skill from Aphil on the ground, becoming shocked. While Kelvin made golems to distract his servants, launching them away from him. The enemy brought out his weapon and started a flying battle, launching abilities back and forth. They both kept dodging the attacks. The enemy started a multi-seeking blast on Kelvin as he launched up into the sky, nullifying the ability. Kelvin noticed the enemy was hitting his own servants without a care and redirected his flying location. Kelvin started talking about how he should care about everyone in the world because they are still human. The enemy started charging his defense ability while Kelvin charged a mana spear, launching at each other. Kelvin managed to make the enemy bleed, making him furious. While Kelvin's spear was completely destroyed, he gave Clotho it to store. The enemy was so furious he started explaining he will show his S-ranked attack as he started charging his defense ability with extra abilities stacking inside. Powerful wind started to circle around, making everything in its path fly around with it. While his ability was stabilizing, Kelvin asked Clotho to bring his staff out he made, receiving a ranked S staff. Kelvin started to charge a ability while all his companions thought the enemy's ability was dangerous. Kelvin charged his ranked S attack ability, making a scythe, slicing the air while the attack flies through the enemy's attack, following through a mountainside, destroying everything in its path. Destroying the enemy's attack and taking his legs off, he started begging for his life as Kelvin was about to finish him for good. The enemy disappeared into another enemy's golem while he started to explain he was the person who ordered the attack. Kelvin noticed he used a summoning ability while the enemy was shocked he knew a lot about summoning. The enemy vanished away while the attack was over. Kelvin started to relax, floating in the sky. Aphil and Gerard started talking to the elder as he wanted to start a feast. Gerard recalled Kelvin called Aphil his girl, making her embarrassed. Kelvin came behind Aphil, making her extremely embarrassed, dropped onto the ground. Melfina, Sarah and Rian was having a race as Gerard the finish line, explaining the winner gets to be praised by Kelvin first. Rian started to use her new lightning ability to boost past everyone, winning the competition, gaining praise from Kelvin and Gerard praising the dog Alex. While visiting the enemy Reincarnated, his limbs were reattached while his commander explained he will be an experiment using his servants to heal and used cursed weapons on. While everyone was at the feast, Kelvin was sitting far away watching at a tree. Aphil appeared bringing a chest she gained from the elder. Kelvin was having a deep thought to not regret again. Aphil started explaining it's the trinket her mother had, asking Kelvin to place it on her. Kelvin's party started heading towards him while a random elf girl jumps on Kelvin, apologizing for her form, but she is the king disguised, explaining he passed the S-rank promotion exam. She explained Kelvin will go against other ranked S adventurers in 1 versus 1 mock battles. Everyone knew Kelvin bad habit was coming. While the king's speech was making Kelvin excited to fight powerful people.